Over mighty now city's secrets of power, deepens the symbolisms of unimaginable value were carefully guarded.
Queen Cleopatra, the last ruler of the forbidden, is the instruments of the fate of empires.
Within these sacred walls, ancient craftsmen forged deep royal astrology. Every step she takes echoes authority. Cleopatra, a leader ahead of her time. Behind every throne, there is an empire at work. These metal blocks were not wealth, they were power. Cleopatra wasn't observing, she was preparing. Gold would soon become Egypt's silent weapon against Rome. Every coin forged, every block stacked, fueled the army's heartbeat. Egypt's strength was being locked away, waiting.
Because wars are not won by swords, but by strategy.
Far beyond Egypt's golden horizon, another power was rising, not through spectacle, but through order, discipline, and ruthless ambition. Rome stood vast and unshaken, its marble temples towering over a civilization built for domination. Inside the Senate, voices clashed beneath pillars of stone, where decisions were made that would redraw the world's borders. Scarred generals studied maps in dimly lit chambers, their eyes fixed on a land rich in gold and legacy, Egypt. Legions moved like a single living force, shields locked, steps synchronized, a thunder rolling across the earth. In blazing forges, steel was shaped into instruments of conquest, while in crowded harbors, warships prepared to cut across the sea like blades. Messages raced across deserts, carrying news that would tighten the air inside Cleopatra's palace, where whispers replaced music and tension replaced comfort. Two worlds now stood on the edge of collision. Rome, driven by expansion, and Egypt, guarding its final breath of sovereignty, as storm clouds gathered above both empires, and history held its breath before the first strike. Night had fallen over Alexandria, but sleep did not touch its queen. Cleopatra moved through torchlit halls not as a ruler at ease, but as a strategist carrying the weight of a nation. From the palace balcony, the city shimmered below her, beautiful, powerful, yet vulnerable in a world shifting toward war. Across the dark sea, Rome's finest general sailed under moonlight, his mission carved not in hope, but in necessity. When they finally met, it was not warmth that filled the chamber, but calculation. Words were measured, silence even more so, as maps between them spoke louder than promises. Every glance was a test, every pause a negotiation. She offered alliance, not submission, he offered protection, not trust. Their hands met over stone, not as friends, but as two powers delaying the inevitable. And as they stood overlooking the glowing city, distance still between them, storm clouds gathered above Egypt. A reminder that some alliances are only the calm before betrayal. Night wrapped Alexandria in gold and shadow, but its queen did not rest. Cleopatra moved through silent corridors with the calm of a ruler and the mind of a strategist, knowing the future of Egypt now balanced on a single decision. From her balcony, the city shimmered like a jewel beside the sea, prosperous, powerful, yet standing alone against the turning tide of the world. Across dark waters, a Roman general approached under moonlight, a man shaped by war, carrying the weight of an empire that did not ask, it took. When they finally stood face to face, the air between them was not filled with diplomacy, but calculation. Maps lay open like battlefields yet to bleed, and every word spoken was sharpened with intent. Cleopatra offered partnership without surrender, Rome offered strength without loyalty. Their hands met over cold stone. An agreement forged from necessity, not trust. And as they later stood apart overlooking the glowing city, the distance between them said more than any treaty ever could, while thunder rolled far beyond the horizon, warning that some alliances are only the quiet before the storm. As power begins to shape destiny itself, history holds its breath. From the morning mist, armies rise like shadows of fate, steel whispering against steel, warriors bound by silent oaths they may never return from. In the glow of fire and iron, weapons are born, horses armored, banners lifted against a trembling sky. From high above the city, a ruler watches, not with fear, but with the weight of a decision that will echo through centuries. Every hammer strike, every tightening strap, every secret message carried through the dark leads to one moment, the moment where the earth will shake beneath marching legions, where thunder will answer the drums of war, and where ordinary men will step beyond mortality and into legend. This is not just preparation for battle, this is the birth of an empire. Steel crashes against steel as the silence of the valley shatters, and in a single thunderous heartbeat, thousands surge forward into destiny. Dust swallows the sun, arrows blot out the sky, and the ground trembles beneath the fury of charging cavalry as men vanish into smoke, fire, and the deafening roar of survival. Shields splinter, banners fall into the mud, and commanders scream through the chaos, their voices nearly lost to the storm of iron and fear. In the blur of motion, legends are forged and lives are erased in the same breath, a duel of empires where every step forward is paid for in blood, every breath borrowed from death itself. The battlefield becomes a world of its own, where courage and terror share the same heartbeat, and history is no longer written with ink, but carved in flame, dust, and sacrifice.